The next project. I've had this for a few years, just never really got around to it. Some of you familiar with this type of machine will recognize a Columbia Portable right away. And the distinctive crank on the front there and all of that. Mid-1920s, I think this is 25 or 26, I'm not really sure. Obviously UK manufacturer. Before the merger with HMV, the Gramophone company. And this is the Model 109. I got to be careful because there's no lid stay on this. So you have to watch it. I'll flop it back, especially considering I'm storing some records in there. The Model 109, fairly simple tone arm. The Achilles heel of these Columbias is that they did use pot metal for the horn elbow, which you can see right there. And if the machine is subjected to enough shock, you can shatter that horn elbow. I've unfortunately seen this. Now, 109 is fairly simple. It's stationary. The horn itself, little elbow there, is bolted into place. It does not move. Only the tone arm on it does. There is a 109A with a fancier tone arm on the other side over here. I think that's the 109 or the 200, I'm not sure, but that one actually has a little lever system that raises and lowers the tone arm elbow on there, the horn elbow, to bring the tone arm up to the level of the deck. This one doesn't need that. It's already at level. The other style, you'll know it right away, is a very distinctive looking tone arm with sharp angles on it, very Art Deco looking. Really nice looking machines, and the tone arm, unfortunately, because it's delicate, it might have been fine in 1927 or whatever, but today, unfortunately, most of them have very delicate pot metal that shatters, even if you don't subject the machine to shock. I actually have one of those, and it does have a shattered tone arm, which parts are absolutely impossible to find over here, probably anywhere, and there's just not enough pieces to put it back together. So that one, unfortunately, will be a parts machine for this one, which does have a good tone arm elbow. Horn elbow, I should say. Really, that's a horn elbow. This is a reflector style, kind of similar to the HMV 100, but obviously not. No, I'd say similar to the Victor Victrola 50, in that it reflects. I doubt you can probably see down there, but it reflects off of a wooden baffle just under the motorboard, off the back, and then uses the lid to reflect the sound. Very much like a smaller version of the Victor Victrola 50. And this is an orthophonic style, almost orthophonic style reproducer. I believe that's the number 9 or 19, I forget which one. Has an aluminum diaphragm. Now, what you got to be careful with these is, while they're usually in good shape, that's brass, it's not pot metal, they do use rubber gaskets inside. So this is not like the HMV, which has felt, and you can get away with leaving it alone. This has a rubber tube gasket inside, exactly the same as the Victrola Exhibition or HMV Exhibition reproducer uses. So that's why I keep, 4 or 5 feet of that white piping around, because it's useful in so many different reproducers other than just the Exhibition. That's what's in there now. I have already done that part. So that'll be ready to go when I'm ready with the rest of the machine. I know these have a high-quality motor in them. I'm not sure which one, but we'll find out. This one appears to have been sold in France. Or Switzerland, Geneva. Was that Geneva? Yeah, maybe it's Switzerland. I don't know. Anyway, I'll have to look that up later. That's another project. We even have some needles with it. There's the needle cup. And there is the distinctive Columbia needle cap on a spring. Comes right down on top of that when you're not using it. I do have the lid stay for this. Let's see if I can find it down there. And I have something else too, which is very unusual to find. I'll show you that in a second. Come on, you can get out of there. There we go. I think it's a little bit bent and I'm going to straighten that, but that's doable. What's hard to find with this is the key. Actually have the key to this Columbia Portable. Let's see if I can fit it in there. There we go. Look at that. How often do you see that? Not too often. Now, a word to the wise. Don't ever lock one of these machines or any similar phonograph, HMV or anything that has a lock. HMV, at least you have screws that you can unscrew around the lock and get the lock off if you lose the key or the lock breaks. This lock might be slightly, yeah, no, actually they do have screws. Okay, you can get this off if you needed to. Kind of stupid to have a lock on it when a regular flat plate screwdriver would simply open it. But still, it's not a good idea to lock them, because if they ever get stuck and they won't open, then you've got a broken lock, you're damaging something, who knows what can happen. So never do it, use it for display. There's no reason to lock them in this day and age anyway. No one's going to steal your 78 RPM record you have hidden in there. So, and I don't know how this happened, unless it's stuck. No, it's not really stuck. But we'll figure that out. I do have parts machines thanks to those crumbling tone arms on these Columbias. I have one or two actually that I've picked up over the years for parts. I know the motor runs. I just have to see what kind of, well, it's going to need the full service. All the usual stuff is going to have to be done. You know, the springs got to come out. I actually have 4 or 5 replacement springs for this, I think. If it's the type of spring I think it is. Not that I think it needs it, but just in case, always good to have. I just did a purchase with some smaller springs I think fit these machines. Well, we'll find out. And it's missing the handle. Again, the parts machine will supply that. That's pretty much generic Columbia portable from the 20s. We'll get it going. There's the water decal there. Not exactly a huge job to do this. This is not difficult at all. Let's take that right out of the machine. When the pot metal is not damaged. And this one is not. Oh, can I prop this up? Let me see if I can prop this up a little bit here. Move my cup out of the way and move the oil out of the way. I don't want that getting all over. The fairly nice, I guess this would not be called Rexine, although it is the same material pretty much. Leatherette. We'll call it leatherette. How's that? Okay. Got the lid back. Excuse the furnace in the background. And you can see how this just comes over here and rises. Again, this is not the best type of tone arm design because it does put a lot of weight on the record. Not dissimilar to that Coronet portable I was playing with in the last video. But I don't think this will have the same effect on it. It has a much stronger motor, if what I suspect is in there is. And this has a better support in the back. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. Oops. Come on. See how that rotates, it pivots. The other one, the Coronet, whatever you want to call it, just kind of sits in there and rides on a cork gasket, which puts even more pressure on it. And that's brass. Let's see if I can, whoopsie, get a look at the back of the reproducers. I don't remember what number it is. Columbia does have a number. Columbia, we have patent number. Let's see if I can see the bottom. Oops. And I'm going to have to take the camera over to read that, if it's even possible for me to read it. And it is illegible. Okay. No, it's not illegible. It's not there. Ha! I would have thought that would have had a number. I thought I saw one on here. I guess not. Well, that's okay. I'll figure out the number of reproducer it is. I have other ones that are similar and probably marked, but this is going to be mid-1920s. And like any Columbia, I'm sure it has a wonderful sound. They were very nice machines, as you can see. They were not junk. Uses a different style of clip than the HMVs do. Well, it just sits in there like that. Actually. There we go. It is turning. I did wind it a few times. It's just like that. Nice little fold-away handle these things have. Look at this. That's it. You can't lose it. You know, it's attached to the machine. I guess it does unscrew if you wanted to, but there's nowhere to store it other than that. Oh. We are spinning. And that's your speed control, which I don't know if that's set to 78 or not. I do not believe it has. Does it have markings on it? Maybe that. Maybe that's your marking. Huh. We'll figure it out. Oh, it just says slow and fast. That's it. Well, let's put it in the middle marking now. Oh, it already has a little arrow pointed to the middle. No, that's not an arrow. That's dirt. There we go. And the machine stopped. We'll start again if I go fast. Nope, it's just out of power. Well, we got to set the speed anyway. A job for another time. But there you go. There's your look at the Columbia number 109. Just the regular 109, not the 109A. That would come later and be a different tone arm design.